This brief screencast will explain how to set up different topics and do module settings in a BPSLearns course using the BPSLearns online learning facilitator course as an example. So what I want to show you is sort of how to set up your different topics such that they have the look and feel that you want them to have. And so in the BPSLearns facilitator course, we've chosen the collapsed topics format, in part because we believe that this allows for the most sort of streamlined workflow for our purposes in the facilitator course. And so what you see if you're a user before you've turned on your editing is you see all of the different weeks and a little description of each week. And if you scroll down, you can see the title for each week and the topic and also the description, but you don't see anything else. So in order to see anything else, you have to actually click on the topic heading and go into that week to see things. And then you can also see on the front splash page any large sort of course level activities like the main news forum, the help forum, the introduction forum, the orientation activity. These sorts of things will be available in that sort of opening module space, the front course splash page, but you don't see any of the activities for any of the specific weeks. So in order to edit a specific week, you're going to want to first turn editing on. Remember that little important button in the upper right-hand corner. So you can turn editing on, and then you'll scroll down. And if you have weeks uncollapsed, here I'll go ahead and collapse this one and this one. So in the collapsed topics format, you're going to see all of your different weeks, but they're collapsed. And in order to edit one, you can either click on it or you can uncollapse it. And if you uncollapse it, you can actually see all of the different activities that are part of that week. And in order to add activities to a particular module, you'd scroll down to the bottom and click on Add an Activity or Resource. And then you would choose whatever you wanted to add, and it would add it to the very bottom of the page. So for example, let's say I want to add a chat to week 1. I would add the chat. And the first thing it's going to do is have you give it some settings. So I'll call this trial chat. Give it a description. And I would go ahead and set any restricted access or activity completions that I wanted to, but for now, I'm just going to say save and return to the course. And what will happen when you add a new thing to a course module is that new activity will show up at the very bottom. Now, what we have done in this particular topic setting is we've set everything up such that we can move things around. So if I wanted to maybe put this chat up here under part 2, I could move it up and it would be right there. And if I wanted to indent it a little bit, I could move it to the right and it would show up there under part 2. Now, I don't actually want this chat here, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it for now. But in order to set up your modules such that things are movable like this, you see how these descriptions are here. What I do there is I add a label. So I'd click on Add an Activity or Resource, and instead of adding an activity, which is this set of things, I would go down to Resources and add a label, and that just allows me to add general text. So any sort of contextualizing title, or if I want to divide my topic into multiple parts and put different activities under multiple parts, that label setting, that label resource is actually an extremely helpful one for customizing the look of a particular topic in BPSLearns. So those are the general settings for setting up a topic. The other thing you might want to know about is in order to actually set up when this appears or whether this is restricted, you click on the little gear setting over here in the upper right hand corner of that topic, and this looks the same in the topics format as well. And that allows you to set the settings for that whole section. So you can give the whole section a title. You can give it a little bit of a description. The pictures over here are something that we like to do as sort of a standard visual appeal for the site or for a particular course. And then under here, you can restrict the access. So you can say, I only want this week to show up, this topic to show up for this 1 week, or I only want this topic to show up after they've completed an assignment for another module or another portion. So in order to do that, you'd go under activity completion and you'd pick an activity from the course. You have to have it set up previously, but you'd pick an activity from the course that they have to finish before they can see that particular week or that topic or that module. So those are some of the basics of setting up a topic or a module in BPS Learns for a course. Thank you.